Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the newest episode of Devil's Den Hockey. Tonight, we are back as the New Jersey Devils took on the New York Islanders and lose 3-2 in overtime. Big game tonight. You have the up-and-coming New York Islanders, which are not a great team by any stretch of the imagination. They are definitely a team that is looking to rebuild. They're definitely a team that has had its struggles, but with their brand new first overall pick in Schaefer, who's been unbelievably good to start the season, the Devils are at home looking to extend their home winning streak, but fall in overtime 3-2. We still get a point. So there is that. So, let's have a chat about the game. Let's have a chat about a couple of things I've noticed over the last couple of games. But first, let's just talk about the game. So, first period gets started, and Devils are immediately in it. They are skating well, they're passing well, they're cycling the puck, and eventually all of their good habits are paying off, and Timo Meier ends up scoring his 5th of the year on the power play to make it 1-0. I've been giving the Devils a little bit of flack in the last couple of episodes about not scoring on the man advantage, having a power play that is stacked with Luke Hughes, Jack Hughes, Timo Meier, Jesper Bratt, and Nico Hischier, and how you absolutely had to score, and they do. Timo Meier makes it 1-0 on the power play with assists from Bratt and Luke Hughes. We're going to get to him in a little bit. However, the first period does not continue to go our way, as near about the second half to the last third of the first period, the Islanders start to really pour it on, and Markstrom holds his ground throughout the entirety of the first period. He keeps us in the game, and this is a theme you're going to be hearing me talk about a little bit as we continue on into the video. So, end of the first period, and the Devils maintain the lead 1-0. We entered the second period, where it is Islanders nearly the entire time. Islanders are fast at the puck, they're cycling, they're outworking the Devils at every possible time. The Devils have a couple of moments where it looks like things are going to go their way, but Sorokin, the Islanders goaltender, manages to keep it out, and eventually, like in the first period where the Devils are beating out the Islanders' good habits in the second period leads them scoring a goal by Bo Horvat, and it's 1-1 Devils, and that's where we ended at the second period. So we go into this third period with a tie game, 1-1. This is where the Devils need to come out strong, and they do. Kind of. So it's a very back and forth third period. Devils are working hard. Islanders are working hard. Shots are going both ways. Markstrom is flying with poke checks for each and every Islander player known to mankind. Sorokin's keeping the puck out. Defense is going well. I gotta commend the Islanders for a quick second. Their trap game during this game was crazy. The Devils rely a lot on their speed to be able to break into the zone with speed and get a really hot zinger and just firing it at the net. But the Islanders stood them up in the neutral zone and stood them up along the blue line. I can't tell you how many times I watched the Devils come down, and you've got 4 Islanders lined up at the blue line being like, nope, you're not getting in. And you know what? That led to the Devils ending up having 20 giveaways during this game. That is 6 or 7 giveaways every single period because the Islanders were on them like flies on shit. Okay? They really were. And because of the fact the Islanders are on the Devils like flies on shit, in comes the New York Islanders to score to make it 2-1. Now, we are in the dying moments of the third period. Sheldon Keefe pulls Markstrom out of the net. He goes, "You've had your time, get out, let's get the extra man on." And it's like 2.5 minutes of basically empty net. And eventually, they end up getting the puck into the Islanders zone. They end up cycling around. They get a couple of shots off on Sorokin, and he holds the line. He holds the line with every single shot until the puck ends up getting squirted out to the front of the net, out out into the slot where Nemec is waiting with the holy grail of slap shots as he sees the puck, he sees Sorokin, and he sees every single Islander lined up, and he goes, "Don't worry, boys, the game is on my stick." And he claps one home, an utter blaster, which flies over Islanders Holmstrom's leg and into the back of the net, and the game is tied 2-2 with like seconds to go in the third period. I'm talking 4 to 5 seconds left in the game, and Nemec ties it. And that goal is assisted by Bratt and Meier. So Bratt's got 2 points, Meier's got 2 points, Nemec gets his first of the season, and we end the third period 2-2 at the end of regulation, definitely giving us Pittsburgh and Montreal vibes as we tie it up in the third to bring the game home. We enter overtime, and it's a very fast overtime. The Devils do not get a single shot on Sorokin in overtime. Instead, a great pass down the side to the Islanders. Matthew Barzal takes it down with speed. Luke can't turn around in time, and he flies it on Markstrom with a nice little Dixie dangle and pops it in to end the New Jersey Devils at-home win streak. Devils lose 3-2 in overtime. Now, again, we got a point, which is always something you want to do, but you don't want to be relying too much on overtime in order to get your points. You want straight up wins, which the Devils this year have been able to do. The question is this starting to be a pattern? Now, I saw a tweet on social media, and the tweet basically went something like, the Devils have not been able to score in their last 5 games, and 3 out of 5 of our last games have gone to overtime. Is there a scoring problem in New Jersey right now? Now, this is by no measure a panic button. This is in no measure to shit on the Devils. Because again, you're 11-4-1. That's a great record. That's a great little section of wins. That's great. It means in the first 15 games, 11 of them you've won, one you lost in regulation. You've taken 4 losses in 15 games. Sorry, 16 games. Take the W. However, I decided I was going to look into this because I was kind of curious. So, I've written this down, so I want to make sure I get this right. In the last 5 games, in regulation, the Devils have scored 2 against the Islanders, 1 against the Penguins, 3 against Montreal, 1 against Anaheim, and 4 against the Kings, for an average in the last 5 games of 2 goals a game. Now, that's not terrible. 2 goals a game is not terrible. However, I decided, let's compare it to the last 5 games before that. And we were scoring 3 goals a game. I don't have the exact breakdown, but we were scoring about 3 goals a game. Now, granted, we have injuries, right? You don't have Connor Brown. You don't have Pesci. You don't have Hamilton. You don't have Kovacevic. So the team is not 100%. And I get that. But there has been a definite decline in scoring from the Devils, okay? Now, we talked a lot about last year how the Devils have not been able to get enough scoring from their bottom 6. And this year, that doesn't seem to be the case. We've gotten goals from Glass, we've gotten goals from Brown, we've gotten goals from Gritsuk, which has been great. However, what I'm curious about is looking at everyone else's scoring on those top 2 lines. We're not seeing goals from Andre Palat. We're not seeing, he's got 1 goal in the entire season. We're not seeing goals from Stefan Nason. We're not really seeing goals all that much from guys like Nico Hischier. And I love Hischier. Everyone knows I love Hischier. I wear his jersey every single time I do one of these videos. But we're not seeing scoring all that much from Nico Hischier. We're seeing it from Meier, we're seeing it from Bratt, and we're definitely seeing it from Jack goddamn Hughes. So, is there a little bit of scoring problem? I'm not sure. I really don't know. We're definitely seeing a decline in scoring because the last 5 games we're only scoring about 2 goals in regulation. And of the last 5 games, 3 of them have gone to overtime. Are the Devils starting to have an issue with closing out games? I don't know. I will let you guys in the comments tell me, what do you think? Do you think the Devils are having a hard time scoring? Do you think the Devils are having a big time finishing it and closing out games? One of the big things I did want to talk about this game against the Islanders, Luke was awful. I genuinely think Luke Hughes had, in my opinion, his worst game of the year. I don't think Luke Hughes had a good game whatsoever. Whether it was having the worst plus-minus of any guy on the team at a -2. Whether or not it was the blind, I'm going to pass it behind my back, Luke Hughes for a massive turnover. Whether it's the overtime goal where I don't know if he gets caught flat-footed or what the hell it was. But Luke Hughes did not look good tonight. I don't, he just looked awful. I thought Nemec has really stepped up, including the goal, but he's played really, really well, in my opinion, not just in the offensive zone, but also in the defensive zone. I know that we all love to see defensemen step up in the offensive zone, but they are a defenseman first and foremost, right? If you can score, great, become a forward, right? But you're a defenseman. Your goal is to defend the puck, which, like I said, don't think Luke had the best game. One more thing I'll point out before I call it. The Devils outshot the Islanders 34-23. So this was not like a close game in terms of shots. This is not a close game in terms of opportunities. The Devils had so many opportunities to score where we're on the doorstep. We're basically in the goalie's blue paint crease, and we're banging and banging and banging at it, and it just won't go in. And again, from before, how I talked about, do the Devils have a finishing problem? I don't know. We'll see. We don't have enough data. Again, we're only, 16 games into the season? We're almost a quarter of the way through the NHL season. We'll see if this continues over the next couple of games. I'd be kind of interested to see if the Devils have a finishing problem in terms of being able to actually put these in the back of the net. But we'll see. I don't think I wanted to say anything else. We play the Chicago Blackhawks on Wednesday night at 9:30. I'm not going to be able to watch that game on Wednesday night. However, I will try to watch the game probably the next day and make a video on it. And then we've got the Washington Capitals on Saturday, which I should be able to watch in its entirety. On that note, guys, take it easy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Adios.